Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing MomFlex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, MomFlex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive. Because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit momflex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive, the podcast where we dive deep into the real, unfiltered moments of life. This is the space where we talk honestly about challenges, celebrate growth, and explore what it means to not just survive difficult seasons, but to truly thrive on the other side. I'm your host, La Fortune, and I'm so glad you are here today. Whether you are listening while folding laundry, driving to work, sneaking a quiet moment in the bathroom, or stealing a few peaceful minutes during nap time, I see you. This podcast is for you. Today, we are exploring a topic that every parent, caregiver, or even older siblings encounter at some point. Parenting through the ages from toddlers to teenagers. Parenting is one of the most beautiful, stretching, confusing, exhausting, and fulfilling journeys we will ever take. One moment you are cuddling a giggly toddler who thinks you are a superhero, and the next you are negotiating curfew with a teenager who insists they are basically an adult. It's a roller coaster and it doesn't come with a manual. Whether you are deep in the trenches of toddler tantrums, navigating the big emotions of middle childhood, or learning how to step back and let your teenager stumble a little while still being their safety net, this episode is for you. We are going to walk through each age group, talk about what's really happening developmentally and emotionally, and share real life stories from parents who've been there. But more importantly, we'll talk about how we as caregivers evolve alongside our kids, because parenting isn't just about raising children, it's about raising ourselves too. So take a deep breath, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's talk about what it really means to grow with our kids through every wild, sacred, and sometimes soul-stretching stage.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives.
Parenting toddlers is, let's just say it, a full body contact sport. These early years are filled with beautiful moments of discovery and wonder, but they are also physically and emotionally exhausting. You are constantly moving, chasing little feet, cleaning up, endless spills, picking up the same toy over and over again, negotiating with a teeny human who doesn't yet understand logic, but definitely understand the word no, especially when they are saying it to you. You are feeding, bathing, rocking, correcting, soothing, and all the while you are probably running on caffeine, interrupted sleep, and the desperate hope that you are doing something right. One mom I know, let's call her Jasmine, once shared a story that captures the energy of this phase perfectly. Her 3-year-old son refused to wear pants. Every morning it was a battle. He wanted to go to daycare in his Spider-Man costume, not just once, every single day. Jasmine could have stood her ground, dug in her heels, and turned it into a power struggle, but instead, she paused, asked herself, is this worth the meltdown, or can I let him have this one? And you know what? Spider-Man, he was. What Jasmine realized, consciously or not, was that power struggles with toddlers often have less to do with the issue at hand and more to do with a child's need for agency. In choosing her battles, she sent her son a powerful message. Your voice matters. You can make choices. I see you. That small act, letting him wear that costume, became something bigger over time. Her son became a confident kid, not just because of Spider Man, but because his need for self expression was honored early on. That's what emotional safety looks like. Not always agreeing, but always validating. These years are all about survival. You are trying to maintain routines, establish boundaries, and stay sane. And while the day to day may feel chaotic, sometimes even relentless, this is the season where your consistency creates the sense of safety. Toddlers crave structure, not because they love rules, but because structure tells them the world is predictable, that someone's in charge, that even when they are spinning out, they can count on you to be steady. And let's talk about those meltdowns for a minute. The ones that happen in the middle of aisle 4 at the supermarket. Yes, that next to the cereal while everyone stares like you are staring in some kind of parenting documentary. You're sweating, your toddler is screaming, laying on the floor, doesn't want to go anywhere. And inside you might be screaming too. Here's the truth. Meltdowns aren't manipulations. They are emotional overloads. Your toddler doesn't yet have the tools to regulate, to reason, or to explain their feelings. That's where you come in. You become the emotional anchor. So instead of asking yourself, how do I stop this tantrum? Try asking, how do I help my child feel safe inside his tantrum? That shift in perspective can change everything. And listen, you won't always get it right. Sometimes you'll lose your patience. Sometimes you'll cry after bedtime. That's okay. Your toddler doesn't need a perfect parent. They need a present one. I remember one time my oldest daughter, we went to the supermarket and she wanted something and I didn't want her to have it. Just went and fell down on the floor and lay on it. And then I looked at her, I said, little girl, if you don't get up from that floor, we're going to have problems. She just looked at me like I was coming from a different planet. I said, well, fine. You stay there. I go home. And if you want to come home, you know how to find me. I walk off. She got up from the floor, running after me. Don't leave me, mommy. And, and I said to her, I said, you can't do that. If mommy said no, it's for a reason. And we went home and she never did that again. This stage is not about perfection, so it's about presence. If you show up consistently with love, patience, and even a little humor, When things get wild, you are already doing the most important work. Your presence lays the foundation for your child's sense of safety and worth. Let's talk about the middle childhood years, shall we? The middle childhood is such a fun stage. Kids start to develop their own ideas about the world. They are asking questions, noticing differences, and forming values. But they still deeply care about your opinion, even if they pretend they don't. I remember a father I spoke to during a parenting workshop. His 8-year-old daughter had started lying. Small things at first, like saying she brushed her teeth when she hadn't. Instead of punishing her, he used it as a teaching moment. They created a truth jar. Every time she told the truth, even when it was hard, they added a marble. When the jar filled up, they had go for an ice cream. Over time, she felt empowered to be honest, not out of fear, but because it felt good. This stage is about teaching why we do the things, not just what to do. When we start building character, respect, compassion, emotional intelligence. Middle childhood is your golden opportunity to shape the inner compass of your child. Make time for conversation, big and small. They are listening. As for me, my two children, my first two kids, what I used to do, and my last one, what I do with her is I ask her to reflect on her actions and to let me know if she thinks that what she has done it was right. And so she takes the time to reflect and then comes back and tells me why she thinks that what she did was wrong or why she thinks what she did was right. And then we had conversation about that. That shaped my first two kids' character about being forthcoming, or how you will say it, they are very outspoken. They will tell you, and very assertive. They will tell you what is on their mind. They will tell you why that is. And sometimes I feel a little like now that they're older, I will tell them something and they will come at me and I'm looking at them like, excuse me, I didn't teach you to say that, to tell me what to do. But that's the age. That's the age where we have the opportunity to basically, build and shape the inner compass, because that's what's going to shape them. That's the character they're going to go forward in life with. Now let's talk about preteen and early teen years, age 11, 14. This is the stage where parenting gets a bit more complicated, but also more profound. It's not just about what your child is doing anymore. It's about who they are becoming. From around age 11 to 14, your child is undergoing a transformation physically, emotionally, socially, even spiritually. This is when they start asking deeper questions, challenging the rules that once seem unquestionable, and looking for their own voice. That voice may not always sound kind, agreeable, or even familiar, but it's emerging for a reason. One moment they are cuddling on the couch watching cartoons. The next they are rolling their eyes when you ask how their day was. You might feel rejected. You might feel invisible, but I want to reassure you, you are not. What's happening in this stage is the formation of identity. Your child is trying to figure it out. Who am I outside of my parent? What do I believe? What do I want? Where do I fit in? This quest for self often comes with pushback, mood swings, and a sudden desire for independence that feels premature. Let me share a story with you. There is a single mom I work with. Let's call her Tasha. Her 12-year-old son had started getting into fights at school. Nothing catastrophic, but enough to make her pause. At first, she was tempted to discipline him more harshly, take away the games, enforce stricter rules, get tough. That's what we are taught, right? That consequences fix behavior. But something didn't sit right. Instead of punishing, she got curious. One evening, instead of grilling him, she sat down and simply asked, "What's going on?" No tone, no blame, just presence. He broke down through tears. He told her he felt invisible, not just at school, but everywhere, like no one saw him unless he was in trouble. That was a turning point for Tasha. She made a small shift with a big impact. Saturday morning breakfast, just the two of them. No phones, no expectations, just pancakes, conversation, and quiet space. Over the next few months, his behavior at school improved. Not because she enforced more rules, but because she made more room for connection. That's the heart of this stage, connection over control. Your preteen is flooded with emotions. Many they don't know how to name, much less manage. That's why emotional regulation is the name of the game here, and not just theirs, yours too. Because how you respond teaches them what's possible. When they lash out and you stay calm, that models regulation. When they push boundaries and you respond with curiosity instead of control, that models empathy. When they are moody or silent and you don't take it personally, that models unconditional love. And look, I get it. It's hard. Sometimes you feel like they don't want you, but here's the truth. They do. They just want you in a different way now. Let's fix my problem more. See me as I am. You are not just managing behavior at this point. You are building a bridge. And that bridge will matter more than anything when the waters get rough in the teenage years ahead. So I will say, don't take their distance personally. They are not pushing you away because they don't love you. They are pulling inward because they are trying to figure themselves out. Your job is to keep showing up calmly, consistently, compassionately. Be the steady presence they can return to, no matter how far they drift.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight.
Here we are, the teenage years, 15 to 18, the final stretch of childhood. And for many parents, myself included, this is the stage that tests everything you have built up to this point. Oh yes, I have lost my temper many times. I am guilty. Oof, Lord Jesus, I lost. I was like, okay, no child of mine. But hey, I stand corrected. But anyways, if toddlerhood was about survival, and the middle years were about shaping values, the teenage years are about letting go without letting them go entirely. This is where the long game of parenting comes into focus. All those small moments, bedtime stories, car rides, apologies, boundaries, pancakes on Saturday morning, they matter now more than ever because your teenager is preparing to step into the world and they want to do it on their own terms. Mhm. It can be hard to watch. You might not agree with their fashion, their music, their attitude, even their friends. You might worry about the people they trust, the decisions they make, the mistakes they will make, and still, your job isn't to prevent every mistake. is to remain a safe, steady presence they can return to. This is the season where control gives way to trust. Let me share a story that stuck with me. A family I know created what they call a safe call policy for their 17-year-old daughter. The rule was simple. If you're ever in a situation that feel unsafe, you can call us. No punishment, no lectures. Just come home safe. We will talk about it tomorrow. That policy saved her, literally. One night, she was at a party that spiraled out of control. There was drinking, things got intense, and she panicked. But instead of staying quiet and trying to handle it herself, she remembered the policy. She made the call. Her parents picked her up. No questions, no yelling, just presence. The conversation came the next morning when the emotions had settled and the message could land. You are always more important than the mistakes. And the funny thing is, I say that to my kids as well. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. If you always tell me the truth, I will back you up 100%. No question asked. Just tell me the truth. I may be mad in the moment, yes, but I will get up and make sure that you're okay. Doesn't matter. I remember my oldest came to me from college and she had an incident at school. It was pretty bad and she panicked because police were involved and all of that. And I had to tell her to call her little sister dad, so her stepdad, and ask him, because he's a lawyer, and ask him some advice about her situation. And I gave her a couple of words of advice of my own of how to deal with her friendships at her college and how to be. She took it to heart. And whether she has done it over the years or not, I'm not a college with her, so I won't know. But that helped calm her down. It helped calm her emotions. And she was able to focus on something else and not worry about it. And eventually the situation got resolved on its own. And that was that. The more important thing for children to remember is that they are the most important things, regardless of what's going on. Parents will always be there. Even when there are no contact or no communication and they come back and ask for help, the parents will always get up because that's what we are there for. We are there to guide at this age. We're not there to pass judgments. We may say something that may not land right, but it's not intentionally to hurt. It's just to let you know that we're here, we see you, we hear you. And yeah, so that moment became a turning point, not because she followed the rules, but because she trusted her parents enough to reach out. That's what matters most in these years, not compliance, but connection. Teenagers thrive when they feel respected and seen. They want to be treated like young adults, and in many ways they should be. But they also still need good guardrails, quiet boundaries that say, I trust you, but I'm here if you need help. They are exploring independence, testing their own voice, stretching the limits of who they are and what they believe. And sometimes, yes, they will push you away in the process. But don't let that push become a wedge. Stay close, stay calm, stay available. You don't have to reach out to them. Just stay where you are. They will eventually come find you. Because even if they don't always say it, they still need you. Just in a way that looks less like guidance and more like reflection. Letting go doesn't mean disconnecting. It means shifting from manager to mentor, from decision maker to mirror. You are no longer scripting their story, but you are still a powerful voice in the background, helping them shape their own. These years are about transition for your teen, but also for you. You are learning how to parent a growing adult. You are learning to trust the roots you have planted. And you are learning that love sometimes means stepping back so they can move forward. You won't get it perfect. Mm-mm. But if you lead with trust and stay grounded in connection, you will give your teenager the most powerful gift of all, the freedom to become who they are with the security of knowing they never have to become that person alone. Parenting isn't a straight line, my friends. It's not a checklist or a competition. It doesn't follow a perfect timeline, and it certainly doesn't come with a universal manual. I like to say that all the time. We are parenting without a manual for sure. Some days you will feel like you are thriving. Other days you will wonder if you are even making a dent. But the truth is, it's not about getting it right at every age. It's about being willing to stay present. It's about choosing to be adaptive as your child evolves. It's about staying curious, not just about who they are becoming, but about who you are becoming too. Because the child you had at 3 is not the same one you will parent at 13, and neither are you. You will grow, you'll stretch, you'll stumble, you'll rise. And if you give yourself the same grace and compassion you are trying to give your children, you will both walk away stronger. So let go of the pressure to raise perfect children. That's never been the goal. Instead, focus on building a relationship rooted in trust, love, boundaries, and emotional safety. One that can bend without breaking, one that welcomes mistakes and hard conversations, one that stays connected even through distance, even through disagreement. Because when it's all said and done, your relationship will be the foundation they return to and the blueprint they carry into their own future. So, my friend, I want to leave you with a quote that always brings me back to the heart of this work. It's by Frederick Douglass, and it says, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Let's keep showing up. Let's keep building. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Let's do the work now so our children have the strength, the resilience, and the tools they need for the journey ahead. Thank you for joining me today on Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive. If this episode resonated with you, if you saw your story in it, or if it made you feel even just a little more understood, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message, share this episode with someone else walking through the same parenting journey, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss future conversations like this. Until next time, stay strong, my friend, stay grounded, and remember, you are not alone, not now, not ever. Until next time, ciao now.
Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing Mom Flex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, Mom Flex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive, because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit momflex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power. triumph, stories of grace, single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the label, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together, we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. We push through the stigma, defy every step. They don't define us, and that's a fact. A village of love, a future so bright. Hand in hand, we own our life. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. The journey is tough, but we're not alone. In this village we found our home. So lift your head, let your spirit fly. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive.